It's fall. Okay, it's been fall, but now it's October, and that's like prime fall time, you know what I'm saying? And Resident Evil 6 already came out, and I'm a big fan of the series, and I'm always regretting not finishing the second one, so in lieu of the season, I'm gonna go back and finish that puppy off with some... It's gonna be good.
Resident Evil 2.
Resident Evil was a bit of an anomaly when I was a kid. It was a series I stayed far away from. I really wasn't supposed to play the game, or any mature rated game for that matter, but that didn't stop me from playing Counter-Strike, Phantasmagoria, Mortal Kombat, and TFC whenever my parents weren't home. But Resident Evil was just known to me as a sick, disturbing experience that had a few choice elements that would guarantee I pissed the bed had I seen them. My brother had played the game before, but it wasn't until around 99 when we finally got a PS1 that he owned the game. It was then I finally got to watch the game and see what it was all about. Suffice to say, I absolutely loved it. We played a bit of the second game, but with a rented copy, we never made it out of the police station. From then on, I was a bit out of touch with the series until the remake in 2002. I easily fell back in love with the franchise after I stuck a grenade into a zombie's mouth and nailed it with a bullet. It was pretty good. Since I was a kid though, all I've heard is that Resident Evil 2 is a top tier game in the series, even going as far as to challenge the remake and the fourth as the best in the series. Big sticking point of the older entries is of course the cheesy atmosphere and awkward design choices, but personally I feel the gameplay invokes a feeling of dread and discomfort into the game that can compete with a totally atmospheric game with a few jump scares. Those surface level flaws are just that. They're annoying at first, but work hand in hand to throw the gamer off and creep them out. So I'm optimistic, even though it looks like someone threw up on top of Pauly D's hair. Get it? Cause it's a jagged, colorful mess. It's supposed to be funny, but it's not. Yeah. Starting off with Leon, it doesn't take too long to realize that this is the game cut from the same cloth as the original.
Sorry, but it looks like your party has been canceled.
Alright, the voice acting is actually far less cringeworthy this time through. And in fact, there are some significant differences between the two. The increased amount of zombies and emphasis on action was the big draw of the sequel 14 years ago. Like I said, I feel as though the minimalism is what makes the original still vital to this day, despite the dated atmosphere. You don't get much ammo, not much health, and you don't encounter many enemies. This ratio made those moments where you had to deal with fatal obstacles that much more critical to your overall success. This was emphasized in the remake when Crimson Heads became a reality. You leave one of those suckers alone, and suddenly backtracking becomes terrifying instead of tedious. Every encounter had huge implications because it altered how you approach situations later in the game. So here we have Resident Evil 2, and right off the bat, you're encountering a much higher rate of enemies, from hordes of zombie cops and drunk sluts to the liquor. And even though they're giving you a decent amount of ammo, it's still a struggle to keep your arsenal fully loaded. But what they do give a lot of is healing items. So with this ratio among those three elements, you have to run away from enemies instead of expending ammo, but instead of that feeling of dread and panic you might have felt during the first zombie encounter in the original, or seeing the flying dogs for the first time, you simply get used to getting grabbed a bunch and healing, making enemies way less menacing and more of a nuisance if anything. Walking into a room and hearing the gushing footsteps of an undead enemy no longer tense me up. Obviously they want more action mixed in with the horror tropes, but it cheapens the experience. I mean seriously, come on. Still, the design instills a level of discomfort that manages to keep me on edge, like I just saw a bug in the room scurry away before I could kill it. And being Resident Evil, they still got plenty of these, which are super cheap, but at least Resident Evil traditionally keeps these jump scares memorable and fun. Besides, it's pretty easy to do with a character like the Licker. I mean, look at that brain. It's all exposed and stuff. So cute. Other than that, game's been pretty uneventful, except, what the hell is this? Blue herbs. We're in the sewers. Ooh. Oh, please no. Shinji. Watch to put spiders in the game, Shinji. Hey, Frank. Let's get through this part for me, alright? You little baby bat bitch. Yep, it's been 14 years, and those spiders still freak me the hell out. But at least now I can move on. Unfortunately, since I'm wary of every room I go into now that the giant spider enemy has been introduced, I've been playing like a constipated Clint Eastwood. This gets especially frustrating since I have to run back and forth between the police station and sewers for items I either missed or haven't used just yet. The pacing just hasn't been consistent up to this point. Well, much like the first, the game runs quickly to the conclusion after departing the initial game space. We get an interesting antagonist with Williams, but he really wasn't as well established as I'd hoped he'd be. Then we see that the chief of police was an antagonist through ever-present documents, but it essentially ends there. Also, just a quick thought, why does everyone in Raccoon City feel the need to journalize everything they do in diaries? Even beefed up Chris Redfield of all people. Dear Claire, I really don't want to see you calling. Umbrella making it dangerous as hell, girl. God forbid they catch me jawing. My fellow stars team, man, they think I got Parkinson's the way my head shakes and I'm barking up them wrong trees like a dog with wood. And if you could, please don't be following me to Umbrella's deadly facility and get involved with Ashford. He developed coincident personality. It's too crazy. Just get the hell out of Raccoon City and good lord, JC, why am I even writing these? Subconsciously, I see you being a dumb bitch. Try to find me at the RCPD. Probably shouldn't be telling you they gonna come after me. We probably gonna meet in a game called RECP. Just please stay out of Resident Evil 3. That's my girls-ish. Matter of fact, right now I'm trying to get in Jill's sandwich. Franklinberry a snitch though. Maybe that's why she hasn't called back. Can't have that. She'll match up with a lockpick. We all know where that's at. Damn, she just caught me staring at that rack. Spec a monkey with a jack. Whatever. I heard she got clapped from all Wesker's ass. August the 8th. Other than that, we get to the lab, see mad scientist bitch get owned, Ada Wong quote-unquote die, and then we watch the fairly simple final battle that feels unsubstantial before rejoining Claire on a train out of the city. We end up facing about 3 bosses total during a forgetful romp through 3 environments, which felt at a total disconnect with the gameplay, unlike the first. Have I stressed enough that I like the first? Because I do. The second Resident Evil is like the original Assassin's Creed, at least in my mind. You get this distinct gameplay engine, but it's coupled with an environment that, instead of enhancing and challenging its design, hampers it until it's completely void of any immersion factor. Well, that about wraps that one up. God, all I've heard since the 5th grade was, dude, second Resident Evil blows the first out of the water. Even my favorite magazine as a kid rated this bad boy higher than the original. I'm just not seeing it. My expectations going in were fairly high, and even though I had fun at times, for the most part it's pretty unbalanced and not as daringly designed as the first. And going back, it doesn't feel, what the hell is that? Oh yeah, completely forgot that you got multiple characters to play as in the older iterations of the series. But from playing Jill and Chris on the original, I'm not expecting too much of a difference between this scenario and Leon's. Minor differences here and there, maybe a different character interaction. Nothing too major that'll totally change my perspective of the entire game. Didn't expect that, and by that I mean an insanely satisfying second scenario that parallels and builds off the first instead of simply reworking it slightly. Most of the issues I had with the initial playthroughs have been alleviated. That ratio of ammo, health, and enemies has been balanced with this beautiful Peacemaker. Many of the loose ends like the Williams family and the chief police have been fleshed out to greater and more sinister depth. Overall, the flow and pace of the narrative and gameplay is much smoother and far less frustrating than the first go, and god damn it if we don't get some good old tension from Mr. X here. It's really making up for the early game's shortcomings, but one of the benefits of Capcom's approach here is that since I pretty much have the map memorized to this point, the developer now has the freedom to experiment with my expectations knowing I'm familiar with the layout. Like, for example, when I went into this room to complete this pretty uneventful puzzle, you figure out the riddle the same way as before, but then... Jesus Christ, he's like the Kool-Aid man on bath salts. Now, I may be speaking to a small audience here, but Resident Evil 2 is like the gaming equivalent of the 8th season of 24. The first half is very lackluster and maddening, but then the second half rolls around and you get this wave of revelations and twists built up from the earlier section. It's such an unbalanced way to craft a piece of entertainment and definitely could be done better, but hell, it works in the end. Oh, Christ, back in the sewers though. These spiders are just really killing my flow right now. God damn it. Hey, friend!
He just left for the weekend. Whatever, it's fine, I can do myself. I can't do it. I can't do it!
Why? And my son's a pussy! Why can't I just do Spider-Man? Let's do it again! Jeff Daniels, you son of a bitch!
Has some big ass titties.
Well, that was fun. Conclusion felt more substantial this time through, if only for the homage to Tyrant and the pretty damn disturbing final form of Williams. They're short campaigns, but it really is astounding to get two distinct stories in one game. Nowadays, Capcom makes you buy two separate games for the same price. What? Capcom being cheap? No. So overall, I'm glad I revisited the game to get more perspective on a series near and dear to my heart and to finish off some of my brother's unfinished business.
Still a little baby back bitch to me.
Hey, this is the part where I beg you to like my video and subscribe to my channel, and then click on the link to the first unfinished business, which is on Final Fantasy 10. And it's not bad, it's pretty good. Really, it's not that good. But you can help me, cause I'm scared and I have no money, no direction. For help.